About 35 years ago, I was talking with the chief executive and chairman of a major international company about the Australian operations. And in the course of conversation, he said to me, Doug, the Australian operations profit is a random end variable. I was shocked. In any business, profit cannot be a random end variable. If we're not making a profit, we're not in business. So therefore, we need to set up an environment in which the organization will be successful and the profit that is needed will be achieved. And that's what Tero Kauppanen, who I referred to in the first session when I was talking about the vision into action concept. It's what Tero Kauppanen understood and developed in his vision into action concept. I talked last session about the need to set a vision very clearly and make sure that it's a very explicit vision of what we want to achieve. And then the next stage is to sit down and say, if this vision is going to be achieved, who are the key players that are going to be impacted? In other words, who are the stakeholders who are going to help determine whether or not we achieve this result? Now, clearly, that includes our competitors, it includes the regulatory authorities, it includes the environment, and of course, it includes our suppliers, our employees, and our customers. And for each of these, we need to set objectives. What do we want to achieve from them? What are our sales targets? What's our budget for the suppliers? And all these sorts of things. What's our remuneration policy and our working conditions policy? These are the sorts of things that are involved. Because if we want to achieve results, we need to show respect to the people who are involved with us, who are helping determine whether or not we're successful. And respect is of two sorts. The first is conditional respect. That's very common. And conditional respect says, if you do what I want, I will respect you. Quite easily, that can turn into bullying and a situation where people are more concentrated on avoiding punishment than they are on achieving results. Unconditional respect says, you're not always going to do things right. I understand that. But when I need to address inappropriate behavior, I will do it in such a way that does not demean or denigrate you in any way, shape, or form. And sometimes this is hard for a leader or a manager because we know that we need to achieve the results and we become scared or a bit afraid that we might not meet the targets required. When I was in the military, one of the most important lessons I ever learned was that when it comes to the crunch, it is not our rank, the position that we hold, that determines whether or not we're successful. It is the trust, respect, and rapport that we engender in other people. And this means that we need to walk that fine line between control and empowerment. Control too often can lead to micromanagement, where we're so allowing our fears to come in that we don't give our people any flexibility. Empowerment says, when I'm asking you to do a task, I will set the parameters within which you have freedom to act, and we will then work together to achieve the results. That starts to develop trust, because we are showing respect and trust to the other people. Next session, we'll be taking this further as we talk about the impact on strategy and the culture of the organization. Thank you. See you next time.